A subtle transformation occurs within the body, noticeable not as loud discomfort or pain, but rather as an increased effort required simply to stand, or a gradual slowness when moving. This is neither your imagination nor a mere byproduct of aging. It is muscle loss, a condition that frequently begins undetected in one's 50s. Fortunately, appropriate food, not supplementation, can counter what age seeks to diminish. Consider your morning routine. Perhaps you rise more slowly, hesitating as you sit poised on the edge of your bed, not from pain or injury, but from a vague reluctance. Standing feels unfamiliar, as if some internal mechanism is less responsive. Everyday tasks begin to seem more burdensome. Grocery bags weigh heavier. Stairs grow more daunting. Chairs appear unexpectedly deep. Gradually, this is replaced not by simple tiredness, but by an underlying uncertainty. It is tempting to dismiss this as natural aging, yet the reality may be more complex. This phenomenon is known as sarcopenia, a term that remains largely unfamiliar in public discourse. Sarcopenia has recently been designated a medical disease by the World Health Organization. It signifies a progressive loss of muscle mass and a strength, which can commence as early as one's 50s, irrespective of activity levels. By your 60s, up to 1% of muscle mass may disappear annually, escalating to 3% per year in your 70s. Left unchecked, up to a third of your muscle mass can quietly fade away. Too often, the signs become evident only after a mishap, a fall, stumble, or inability to securely hold a glass of water. With dwindling muscle, the body's systems weaken in tandem. Nevertheless, it must be understood that sarcopenia is not a personal failing, nor is it an irreversible fate. Muscle tissue remains one of the body's most adaptive components, retaining the capacity for regeneration even into advanced age. Restoration of stability is attainable, and it does not necessarily require a gym membership or personal trainer. Pioneering research from Harvard Medical School demonstrates that seniors in their 70s and 80s can reverse muscle loss in a matter of 6 weeks by adopting a very straightforward measure: real food, not supplements, not protein powders, nor rigid diets, simply nutritious food consumed at the right time and in the proper manner to signal to your muscles that they are needed and must regrow. Food, after all, is more than mere sustenance. It communicates vital instructions to our bodies. Certain foods impart signals to rebuild, to repair, to restore. Let us first consider one of the most overlooked foods for muscle maintenance, a humble, widely available grain that may already be in your home: brown rice. Frequently ignored, this grain is far more than a source of carbohydrate. It delivers sustained energy in a steady, controlled manner. After the age of 50, it is not quick energy that is most valuable, but rather dependable energy released over a period of hours. In contrast to white rice, which is stripped of its most nutritious layers, brown rice retains its bran and germ, the repositories of essential vitamins, minerals, and muscle-supporting compounds. With age, muscle tissue becomes more discerning, requiring the appropriate type of energy in order to rejuvenate. Foods that cause rapid spikes and crashes in blood sugar, such as white rice, white bread, and sugary snacks, can leave you feeling lethargic and unmotivated, undermining physical activity and ultimately strength. Brown rice, by virtue of its slow digestion, solves this problem. Furthermore, it is a notable source of magnesium, a mineral frequently deficient among older adults. Magnesium plays a critical role in muscle contraction. Insufficient levels result in muscle cramps, twitching, fatigue, and even stiffness. Incidents such as sudden leg locking upon standing may be attributed to low magnesium, a deficit which brown rice can help address in a naturally gentle manner. Additionally, brown rice provides B vitamins, particularly B12, which facilitate clear communication between the brain and the muscular system, instilling greater confidence in movement. It need not be consumed in large quantities. One modest bowl, 2 or 3 times a week, paired with lean protein, such as chicken or lentils, is sufficient to commence the restoration process. View it not as a mere accompaniment, but as a supportive message to your body. That nourishment is intended for enduring well-being, not a brief surge of energy. And next, consider a food that does not merely provide fuel, but actively aids the repair and reconstruction of tissue, a source of amino acids, the building blocks of muscle. Quinoa is a plant-based, highly digestible food that supplies a complete amino acid profile, making it as potent as many animal proteins, but without the heaviness or digestive difficulties that may come with advancing age. It is rich in iron, which helps deliver oxygen to the muscles and improves recovery, as well as magnesium and fiber, which optimizes both muscle function and nutrient absorption. A single cooked cup of quinoa contains roughly 8 grams of protein. Along with this full spectrum of essential nutrients, it can be used in a variety of meals, stirred through soups, mixed in salads, or substituted for rice. For best effect, replace it for rice several times weekly and pair with vegetables and healthy fats. In addition to building strength, protein supports confidence and independence, enabling greater ease in movement and day-to-day activities. It is important to note that protein is not only for building muscle, but for maintaining functional confidence, the ability to rise, bend, or reach without apprehension. Quinoa is not a fad or superfood craze. It is a simple, effective means of restoring muscle capacity, beginning immediately. Consider also the issue of persistent low-level discomfort, not acute pain, but a lingering stiffness or fatigue, often presumed to be inevitable with age. Frequently, this is a sign that chronic inflammation is undermining your muscle tissue. Inflammation, though subtle, can impede muscle repair, disrupt protein assimilation, and encourage breakdown overbuilding. Walnuts, rich in plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically a vitamin E and polyphenols, serve as a natural defense against inflammation and oxidative stress. These elements collectively reduce internal stress, preserve muscle fibers, and protect it against the slow deterioration caused by free radicals. Walnuts should be consumed in moderation, a small handful daily, perhaps atop oatmeal in a salad or as a snack. When incorporated regularly, they enable improved energy, diminished joint discomfort, and greater physical resilience. Importantly, walnuts also contribute to stress regulation by moderating cortisol, the hormone responsible for muscle breakdown under prolonged stress. Muscle recovery is not solely a daytime process. Much of it transpires during sleep. While at rest, the body enters a fasting state, potentially resulting in muscle loss in the absence of circulating protein. A modest bowl of cottage cheese prior to bed offers casein protein, which is slowly digested and provides sustained nourishment to muscles throughout the night. In addition, cottage cheese is a source of calcium to support both muscle and bone integrity, and vitamin B12, which is critical for nerve function and often deficient in later years. Consuming this 3 to 4 evenings per week with the optional toppings such as blueberries or walnuts helps to maintain overnight muscle repair and stability. Building upon this, another valuable dietary ally is Greek yogurt. This food is replete with casein protein, calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin D, in addition to beneficial probiotics. Probiotics enhance digestive health and nutrient uptake, ensuring that essential elements such as protein and B vitamins are effectively utilized for muscle maintenance and repair. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt may be enjoyed at breakfast with fruits and flaxseed, in the afternoon with honey and walnuts, or as a lighter alternative to cottage cheese in the evening. The sea, too, offers nutritional resources in the form of fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna. These fish provide complete protein, as well as the critical omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These compounds facilitate muscle responsiveness to dietary protein, combat chronic inflammation, and contribute to improved joint mobility and recovery. Aim for 2 to 3 servings per week, prepared with minimal added fat or salt to maximize benefit. Fundamental to all this advice is the distribution of protein intake. Research indicates that older adults maintain muscle mass and strength most effectively by consuming 15 to 25 grams of protein per meal, evenly spaced throughout the day. This might include a boiled egg at breakfast, chicken or legumes at lunch, Greek yogurt in the evening, and a portion of fish or tofu at dinner. Rather than focusing on large quantities at a single meal, it is the regularity and quality of protein sources which yield the best outcomes. To summarize, restoring and preserving strength is not about perfection, but rhythm and consistency. A typical day might commence with Greek yogurt, blueberries, ground flaxseed, and walnuts. Lunch would incorporate lean protein, brown rice, vegetables, and perhaps additional walnuts. A simple afternoon snack could include a boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or cottage cheese to maintain momentum. Dinner may feature quinoa, roasted protein, and vegetables with a final bowl of cottage cheese before bed to sustain overnight repair. This model is not rigid. Rather, it is intended as a foundation, gently guiding one's dietary choices with the central question, am I nourishing my strength today? If the answer is affirmative, even once, progress is already being made.